Okay, the activities section. Now, people just like don't know what to do with this section. And it's a section on the Common App, and basically you get to list your activities that you do inside or outside of school. And here's the deal. You get 10 slots. I make all of my students fill out all 10 slots, even if they're like, okay, but does like picking up trash on the street with my grandma like once a week count? Yes, it does. It does count. And so it's not just school activities you want to put on there. It's not just marching band. It's not just sports, although those do go on here. It is not just theater. It's anything that you do inside or outside of school regularly. So a lot of my students will put things that they do with their faith community on there. That's a great one. Any community service definitely wants to go on here. And as well as anything that you do, if you ride horses, if you like are a skier, like competitive skier, literally anything. It's anything that you do that's regular, that's outside of just your regular classes. And you might not think you have 10, but I want you to write down everything that you do. So this is what I have my students do. Write a list of every single thing that you do, everything in your life, all the way down to like chores for your mom, like all of it. I want to see all of it on a list. Once you have everything down on the list, then you pick your top 10. And at least currently, the Common App instructions say rank these, like list them in order of their importance to you. And that doesn't mean it has to be the most hours. It's of importance to you. So if working with your faith community is the most important thing to you, that goes at the top. If riding horses is the most important thing to you, that goes at the top. And just list all of those things. It's also all your school clubs and stuff. So National Honor Society, if you're in like the Spanish Honor Society or French Honor Society, any of those types of things, those can all go on here. And they are going to ask you for any awards or accolades that you have won doing this. Don't worry if you don't have any, that's totally fine. But what you do want to make sure is that every single one of these activities looks consistent in your grammar and the way you're presenting it. So for example, they're going to ask you for like, what was your position? Don't put a period at the end of that ever. Just like make sure it all looks the same. So I usually recommend that my students like don't put periods at the end of each thing. And then for the little description, you can put periods in because you're using complete sentences. But when you have finished the Common App and you're looking at the PDF at the very end to like make sure everything looks good, I want you to go through that activity section and make sure it looks clean and nice. So you got to list your activities. You will estimate the number of hours that you do on those activities. I'm sure you don't have a log of like every single hour you did for NHS. That's totally fine. But you can give an estimate. And when it's all done, what I do with my students is we go through it and we look and we see, were you consistent? And then do all of the hours make sense? So if you say that you're spending 40 hours a week doing theater, I'm going to be like, do you though? Do you spend 40 hours a week doing theater? That is a lot of theater. And it is possible. Sometimes you might be like, yes, Nathaniel, I really do. Here's my breakdown of how I got that number. And I'll be like, okay, all right, that's great. It's totally possible. We just have to make sure it makes sense because we don't want the colleges to look at it and be like, does this person have like 20 extra hours in a week that we don't get as normal people? Are they a superhuman? Like, can they turn back time? Like, we don't know. So just make sure that all of those times match up and that you're just be honest. You don't have to exaggerate. You don't have to like make yourself look super cool or amazing. Although like be honest about your accomplishments, but you don't have to like be super braggy. I just want you to be honest and tell us exactly what it was that you did. And there's no place to put like why it's important to you. You just put what you've done and how consistently you did it. So good luck on that. And it can be helpful to have somebody look over it and just sort of like double check and be like, didn't you do this more than this? Didn't you do this less than this? Don't forget about this time you won this art award in like the 8th grade. Like that counts. So that's a place for you to like put down all of your awards, all of your honors, leadership positions, and that kind of thing. Good luck.